heart, and he was the first man who truly provided financially for her, and by extension for us, two girls. And he presented that persona of being so quiet, so unassuming, so helpful, person who is dedicated to his job, the perfect person, you would think. And a good role model to say, okay, me and them father left, so this man look like it. And I tell you, for years, it was good. He provided, pick we up, drop we off, everything, and then all of a sudden it's like a switch flip. And that tender age of 10, and I remember the first night, I remember it like it was this morning. You understand? I remember the nighty when me in I remember the room, I remember everything. And it continued for years, because guess what happened? In my household, you were taught to be seen and not heard. You were taught that adults are always right. You understand? And another thing, now that I am an adult, when I look back, another thing that he did, he removed us from our family unit, aunts and uncles and cousins. I'm from a big family. And he removed us from all of that, took us all the way to Spanish Town, where it was just me, my sister, him, and my mother. And I tell you, when a lot of people will say, oh, but how you take so long to talk? Trust me, another uncle was living in the same house. It was a big house in Spanish Town. Another uncle was living in the same house. And he would, time pedal him until him turn in for bed, and he would come in. And trust me, when you capture a child's mind from early,
yes,
it is amazing what predators are able to get away with when you capture a child's mind from early. Because discussions will be had in the house. Oh, I may take care of you. Are the best life you ever know from you born. When you not suffer, when you not live all with your father, you know how much things, when you not get all of them juice there and all of them this and all of them that, and me. You understand? And when that is drilled in your head every day, your family no love, your family no business, but your family careless. When you drill that in a child's head every day, they start to believe that. And even though you are the person who is causing the harm, they start to almost look at you as a savior. Say, but you start to think, but him really couldn't mean me no bad, because him do all of these things to me. I tell you, I went to the best of schools. I remember when I did GSAT, I didn't pass for traditional high school. And because of the links that he had, I ended up going to St. Andrew High School. So when me tell you, say, is somebody where if you're on the outside looking in, you would never, it would be hard for you to wrap your mind around the fact that he into them something, yeah? No, man. And the kind of job that he was in also, the kind of job that he was in, because he was in law enforcement. So, as we began to get older and started to put up resistance, remember, my mother is a woman where you can't tell her nothing. You can't talk to her, because if you breathe heavy, you're dead. If you breathe heavy, you're dead. So it's not a matter where you could have go and you could have said, look here, say this thing is happening. When we started to get older and, we started to put up resistance now, because you get bigger and you realize, you talk to other people and you say, but hold on, this thing here is not normal. Know what the man start do? Now, Sash, him start put him service weapon on the face basin. Yeah, him start for put on when him approach you now, him a put him service weapon on the face basin or on the machine. But I remember when me get the courage to say something to my mother. I remember there's this Destiny's Child song. Can't remember what it name now. Young Girl or something like that. And I remember I remember the Saturday morning like I know. And when I played that record.
Girl. The song is Girl. I know the song you're talking.
Mother, yes.
Girl.
Yes.
I know the song you're talking.
When I played that song for my mother, and all she could have said, "Oh, what that mean? Oh, what this mean?" I may tell her, say, I cry, because me said the one time when we finally get the courage to say, hey, something is wrong. Something is wrong. All she says to me, say, what this mean? Oh, what this mean? Oh, what that song you mean? And I tell you, it continued for years. And when you said to me that you're going to live with a lot of guilt because you're going to think that maybe if you did say, maybe if me did say something, if I was strong enough to say something, my sister wouldn't go through it. Today, my sister and I, we don't talk. And I know that a lot of the resentment she has towards me is because she looked up to me and thought that, you should be the person. It happened to you, you shouldn't make it happen to me. And, I come to grips with that. It happened. I was a child too. But maybe if me did speak up before, and I say to mothers, look here, all if I one dumpling, cut it in half, eat it with your child. Never make your child be afraid to come to you and say, look here, mommy, the person here. And it's a trauma that never leaves you. I am 36 now, and outside of that time when I played that song, the first time I actually spoke to other family members that actually come out with it was about 3 years ago. KDB is 2.5, yeah, about 3 years ago, when now everybody in the family would know about it. See how long? From 10 to 30 odd. And it's just now I am this happened when me just come out and I talk about this. I couldn't go through a conversation without breaking down. It has gotten better now. I say to parents, especially mothers, sometimes you may not have downtown and uptown to give your pitney, but let me tell you this is when your child know that they can come to you and talk to you about anything, that is the world. Trust me, that is the world. The predators nowadays, them now come in a tear up clothes. I smell bad. Them are coming at them jacket suit and them big work.
And them big vehicle.
Don't sell out your children. Yes, my mother sell out me and my sister for what she considered at that time as a better life, a better area to live in. For rice and one bag of flour can buy one bag of rice. Fridge full of chicken and everything you can think about. That's what she sold us for. My mother was a nurse and she took night shift. Remember, you have young girls. My mother took night shift for 5 years straight. 5 years straight. I remember at one point, like today, Sunday, would have day home and everything would be okay. And by the time she leave to go to work and him come, and by this time we were getting old and I put up resistance. When he come to do what he do, sometime him not get through, he would have his things packed. And I'm wondering, think to yourself as a mother that, me leave the house yesterday. What could the girls have done to make you be so enraged? You pack up your things and ready to leave. Them something they never jog. It never down to you that no man something wrong.
Never the mother I want, I did the daughter.
Predator. So I say to mothers, don't make your children be afraid to come to you. You understand? Always, you can be strict, you can be firm, but always be fair. Always let them know that this is a safe space, so you can come and you can talk. Because the predators nowadays, them now come smell bad and in a tear up clothes, and no, them are come well put together. They are coming well put together. I am at a stage now where I can openly talk about it. I don't speak to my mother anymore. And yeah, me know, and I am mother, your father, but guess what happened? You couldn't stand up for me when I was vulnerable. So you have no access to me, no access to my two boys. And I tell you, it affects you in such a way that you're paranoid. My children don't go anywhere outside of school. I have a 2.5-year-old baby, and whenever he comes from the nursery, I have to bathe him every night. And I don't want to get too graphic because I know how TikTok is sensitive, but you can read through. You can read between the lines. I have to bathe him every night. Every night. I have a 9-year-old and a 2.5-year-old. And that baby, when he comes home, there is not a night where I don't bathe him and inspect him thoroughly. It makes you paranoid. And I am glad I don't have any girls. And I know it happens with boys, but I'm glad I don't have any girls.
Yeah.
So, I want to thank you, Sasha, for opening your platform, to give me another means of, talking to people, because you'd be surprised to know how prevalent these things are. And, the night when I finally decided to come out and say, hey, this is what was going on. You know what my mother said to me? She said, now that you're finally ready to talk, and know that you're finally ready to leave, go on and nobody leave the disgrace behind you. That's what she said, and it confirmed to me. Because as a child, I was always back and forth that, hey, no, sir, mommy could have never known said this happen. She could have never known said this happen. But when she said that to me as an adult, she said no. Yeah, man, she said no, that you know. Now that you're finally ready for go on and you're ready for talk, go on and nobody leave the disgrace. Just leave quietly, nobody leave the disgrace behind you. And that is when I confirmed that all this time,
she knew.
You knew, as a child, she used to treat him very, husband and wife, and, a wife would have been respectable to her husband. She used to always talk down to him, and she would, later on, as I got older, she used to start to sleep in the living room. She used to sleep in the living room. She used to disregard him. So, certain decisions in the house, she would make, and, she would make it very known that me run things. I don't regard you. It's almost like she didn't like him. And it's now that I am an adult now, that was one of her coping mechanisms. To talk down to him. When it come on to money, she would have take away money. That was her coping mechanism, because she knew what he had done to us, and it's almost her way of kind of getting back to him, if that make any sense.
Yeah.
That's just probably how me interpret it.
Yeah.
If she get a chance to be physically abusive to him, she would do that, and play it off like a joke. She would have pepper him food. Certain, and now that I'm looking back, I say, oh.
It's like she tried to spite him in her own way.
Yes, like she tried to spite him in her own way. Yeah, so trust me, you hit close to home this morning.
I knew I was talking to somebody, but I didn't know who. For some reason, every time I go live and I talk about certain topics, my mouth starts to move and I don't really realize what I'm saying. And then something came in my voice and in my head and say talk about that. And that's when I said, I know that somebody on this live is watching who has been abused. And I started talking. I didn't know somebody was actually gonna come up though.
Yeah, man, you hit close to home, man. You hit close to home, because a lot of these families, instead of dealing with the issue at hand, all they want to do is just brush it under the carpet, because they don't want the family disgrace. And knowing the kind of person my mother is, at the 14th of June she born. And let me tell you this. You see, if people have anything to say about her, is the worst. is the worst thing you can do. I have something bad to say about my mother. She afraid of shame. She afraid of disgrace. She afraid of shame and she afraid of disgrace. You understand? So looking back, you know, me blame myself for a lot of things because me say maybe it's the fact that you knew that, you know, it would have caused a big uproar in the family. Maybe that's why you keep quiet. Maybe you were brainwashed, but after a certain time you get bigger and understand, and it still took you that long. That's why whenever anything happens, people, the first thing people quick to say, then now why you take so long? Look here, let me tell you this.
There's no expiration date. Wait, there's no expiration date on trauma. We all deal with trauma differently. I know we like to blame the victims and say, then look how long that happened, she just come forward now. It takes time to find the courage and to find the strength, because you know as the victim that your world is about to be turned inside out. You now have to confirm what had been done to you. Other people are going to be now have knowledge of all the intimate things that would have happened to you, the disgrace and the embarrassment and the shame that would have been attached to the actions against you. It takes a while for you to find the courage to speak and say, this happened to me. So don't blame persons. I'm disgusted each time I see it online when people say, so I can just do it now, you take so long, you lie, tell. Each person have their own time to come forward. There's no expiration date when it comes on to trauma. Sometimes it's a small little thing that touch the person's nerve and them just ball out everything.
Yeah, because I tell you, we ended up, my sister and I reporting it to Sissoko, and I didn't even know that after so many years that was an option. And I want to tell you that it was something that was very minuscule that brought that action about. There is a relative of mine that I used to take care of him from he was a baby, and he went to stay by their house for a little time. I don't know what happened, and because my I don't even want to call him a stepfather. That man, one of his things were, if you can't abide by what he said, he might go throw you out. And I got the call one Thursday evening, to say that he might put out the little boy, threaten the little boy, say he might go throw out the little boy things. And I tell you, as simple as that sounds, that is what triggered me. Because I remember as I got older, when you could not get your way, that is how you would pack up our things and say I would throw them out.
Got it.
That is how you used to pack up our things. And the Saturday when I went up there to take the little boy's stuff and everything, my sister was the one who started. She just started talk, and she called the police, and the police said, no, you can still report it. You can still report it, and they escorted us to Sissoko. We gave our statement, and I tell you, I was at Sissoko for probably 10 hours doing that statement. And I tell you, to relive all of that. When people come out and say, oh, a liar, tell, there is no cloud to be had from that, because now the magnifying glass is on you.
Yes.
For some reason, it is on you.
It becomes your fault.
There is no cloud.
It becomes your fault.
There is no cloud to be had, because there is nothing for you to gain, because all members in my family were against us. Because first them say, look how him take care of you. He make you go a good school, make you in on a big work.
That's what predators do.
And it's when everything started to come apart, when they started to go to court and everything. And them realize, say, no man, something not right. Them start to put 2 and 2 together. Yeah. And now my family members don't talk to them. So I just try to show you, a lot of times people don't come up because the ridicule that you come under, you know, man, me I tell you, if you're not mind sharp, you go buy grease and card.
Yes. So is your mother still
Me I
with him
tell
now?
you.
Is your mother still with him now?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
So, and you and your sister are not really speaking now?
No, unfortunately.
So, okay, so you and your sister are not speaking now. Your mother still with the man, right? I want to ask you 2 questions. The first question is, so the persons that are watching who would have encountered something similar, know that you're on the other end where you have spoken up about what took place to you. What would you say to those persons that are watching this live now? Because I know more of them are watching.
In the beginning, it is very hard just to reach to the point to make up your mind to say, you know, enough is enough. First to commence, you don't start healing until you can open your mouth and say, this happened to me and this is a person who did it.
I said
Healing
that earlier.
will not happen, and you find that it will affect a lot of areas in your life. If you don't name and shame, you will find that, yes, physically you will age, but it's almost like you will be stuck in that year when it happened to you. So if you were 8, you find out that you approach a lot of situations as an 8-year-old. Believe it or not. So until you can garner the courage to come out, healing will not begin. I am not going to tell you that it is going to be easy and a bed of roses, because it will not be. And especially if you decide to go to the full gamut of the court, it will not be. We are still going to court now. It has been almost 2 years and we are still going to court. So it will not be easy, but I tell you that it will be worth it. It will be worth it when you are able to say, look here, John Tom did this, and you can provide evidence. It will be worth it. It not go easy, me I tell you. But trust me, when you look back, you know, it will be a sense of relief, because at least now I don't have to live with this. I don't have to live with this anymore. Trust me.
And if your sister was on this live now and you could say something to her, what would you say?
If my sister was here, Chantal, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be the big sister where you look up to. I'm sorry. Say, I never have the courage to stand up and say, you know, this is happening. The many times I run away, I'm sorry, say me leave you. I'm just sorry. Just sorry. Regrets I have are many. I just hope before my eye close or your eye close, we can find a common ground. But as I pray, said before one of us go 6 feet under, we can find a common ground.
Yeah. Chantal, I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive your sister. It's not easy for anybody. I'm so happy that I followed the voice and said somebody on this live, and then you came forward. And thank you to everybody who told me to open my box because I had missed it. So Chantal, if you happen to ever come across this, just remember that your sister was a child too, and I'm sure that whatever she did at the time, she didn't do it with intentions of hurting you. She was trying to find her own safe ground, right? Because from the sounds of it, it don't sound like she would have knowingly put you in danger. She herself was trying to escape from a place of hurt to find a safe ground. So, my dear, I thank you so much for coming forward. I pray that you find a place of peace, and
Yes,
I pray that you continue to heal.
Trust me.
That's
I
good
am
to
not
hear.
100% there, but
You're
trust
getting
me,
there.
I am well on my way.
I pray that you continue to heal. I pray that you continue to use your voice to advocate for others and to let persons know that this is not okay. I pray that everybody who is here to hear the sound of your voice doesn't take it as a story time, but take it as a lesson to be learned. I hope that your experience will be the experience that will allow many to open their eyes and their ears to know that predators no longer hide. They no longer feel shame. They walk amongst us. And I hope, I really, really hope that you coming forward would have been able to give strength to others. This is what I was speaking about earlier, guys. Alright? And we don't blame our victims. We don't ever blame our victims, because you don't know what it takes for somebody to come forward and say, this happened to me. I'm telling you, there's a level of shame. There's a level of shame and disgrace that is attached to it when you come out and say, I was troubled, I was fondled. When you come out and say that and you say it out loud, people look at you differently. People will blame you. People will shame you. But I want you to stand on it and let it be your strength. Name and shame the predators that walk amongst us. All of this started because of Tiki. So in a controversial kind of way, Tiki, I guess I have to thank you for showing your dirty colors, because if you hadn't, then we wouldn't be having this conversation with this lady right now. And again, let us cancel Tiki Dog Vomit on TikTok. Again, let us cancel Tiki Dog Vomit on TikTok. Mothers, this is your daughter speaking. Mothers, I'm not speaking to one mother here. I'm not speaking to her mother here. Mothers, this is your daughter speaking. Parents, this is your child speaking. Let it end with you. Let it end with you. If you used to eat steak, let me tell you something. The only part of your mouth will know the difference between steak and dumpling of butter are your taste buds. When it reach your belly, the only thing your belly knows is that it's full. The only thing will tell you the difference between the steak and the lobster is your taste buds. Once the food reach your belly, the only thing your belly know is that it's full. Let us stop giving up our daughters so that we can fine and dine. Let us stop giving up our daughters so that they can find. Paul said somebody wants to pray for her in the comments. Let us stop giving up our daughters so that we can nyam lobster, we can nyam steak. They have to live with it for the rest of their life. It affects how they parent. It affects how they parent their children. It affects how they perceive others.
Sasha,
It affects...
Sasha, please. You're gone down a different road now, girl. When I just became a mother, I was so aggressive. To that first son. I was so aggressive. I had no patience. I was so horrible. I was aggressive. And I had to reteach myself how to be a mother. In the probably first 3 or 4 years of his life, I was so aggressive because all of this was happening and there was no channel, no way to channel it.
There was no outlet.
So the person, of course, who is going to get it is the person who can't fight back.
Yes.
I was very aggressive. I had to reteach myself. I had to relearn through reading, through interaction, through education. I had to reteach myself. And that is why I tell people, until you open your mouth and declare what happened, no growth will take place. You will be, it's almost like you're stuck in that age. And you are going to lose people. My friend from high school, we don't talk anymore because when everything happened, she say, "I don't believe you. This can't be true. Uncle Lee would have never do that. Son no go to school and then turn on and do that." And we're not friends anymore. You understand? Mm-hmm. So you are going to lose people. But I tell you, the inner peace that you get is going to be worth it. Every day will be a work in progress, because I don't think this is something that you ever get over. But it becomes a little bit easier when you open your mouth and say, "Hey, this is what happened to me. I don't want it to happen to anybody else. Let us do better." Trust me.
Come like every time I open my mouth, something else come up.
Look here, girl. May I tell you, say, God sent you. I was at my desk and I just was going through TikTok and I come across you. I mean, tell you, say, from the area talk about Dicky, and even when I saw the video, it was so triggering for me because it's almost, when I saw it, it's almost like I see him transform out of himself. It's like him transform out of himself and you could see the demons and darkness. What could have possessed you to talk about a child like that? You, sir, you need to take you now and start comb through your background.
Yes.
Because for you, if you develop the courage to come on a public platform and talk something like that out of your mouth, sir, you have done this before. Mm-hmm. Nobody can tell me nothing. Mm-hmm. Nobody can tell me nothing. You have done this before.
Mm-hmm. Trouble somebody pitney. Mm-hmm. Or in my work pan one. Or in my work pan grooming one.
Yeah. You have done this before. You have done this before. And incidentally, Me I tell you how the creator work. Yesterday he was on his live, and he was giving some story time. And if you know how his story times are, they're always very graphic. And he was talking about when he was going to school, and he saw one of his friends having relation with a girl, and him decide say, him affy get peace. And if you were on the live yesterday, he said that he picked up the rubber and put it in a plastic bottle, and when him approached the friend, and the friend said, "No, I am not of that community." Me have a sensor, but you can't read through the lines. Him said, "No, I am not of that community." Him show the friend the rubber in the chubby buckle and said, "Me go tell the principal." So from a very early age, you
manipulate people.
Yes, I may say it is just so, me tell you, say, you see the universe, me I tell you, just as him depend in live, I talk about that shortly after him crashing a wall. Shortly after that, him crashing at the wall and mash up in vehicle.
Well, let me see who I will send him the lions, the tigers, and the bears to fix it back.
And the thing will jump out at me, Sasha, is mostly women. 99% of his followers, gifters, supporters are women.
You man, them careless bad.
Jesus of mercy.
Them careless bad.
Let me tell you, you see, his personality will draw you to watch him because he's very animated. As we in Jamaica would have saying baga. He's very animated. But let me tell you, so when you get down and you start for really, if you really listen to some of the things that he talks about,
disturbing.
He is very manipulative and he knows how to get his way.
Hi, Corker. Well, guys, the live take a turn. His TikTok name is Ticky Dog Vomit. Go and report it. His name is Ticky Dog Vomit. Go and report it. We don't want no pervert over here. We don't want any children diddlers over here. His name is Ticky Dog Vomit. Go and report it. We will never support somebody that comes forward and sees a little boy running across the screen and says that he wants to put the little boy's sausage and his 2 little grapes in his mouth and goggle it. We're going to report it. We need to cancel him. As a community, we have to let them know that we don't have any lack and power in this. And when I was speaking about this, I didn't know that somebody was going to come on the live night. I normally just speak, like something would just come in me and it takes over and I just speak. I didn't know I was actually going to draw. Did not actually draw anybody. It just happens sometimes. You understand? And I did tell you,
I say the thing about us in Jamaica, we have a thing where a 9-day talk. So
this not gonna be 9-day talk if Sasha have to do nothing with it. If Sasha have nothing to do with it, never talk for 2 times 9 is 18. Never go 18 there, we don't know. Yeah, man.
It was just so disgraceful. It was so disgraceful. And even the other content creator, I tell him, say, stop now.
Yeah.
Stop now. And even after he
and him said the time is now.
Say, you never, him say, him come back and he say, you never put one little boy grape in your mouth yet. Are you real? You couldn't real.
What?
Yeah, he came back. Yes. When the live ended, he came back. And the other content creator added him. And him say, then content creator, yeah, one like say you never put one little boy 2 grape in your mouth yet. And I laugh.
What?
Look here now, man.
I want to see who's going to send the lions, the tigers, and the bears to Ticky Dog Vomit now. I want to know who's going to roll out the zoo now. When him come with him comedy, I want to see who's going to roll out the zoo now. And then I will know what sort of people you are and what you stand with. Okay, and I rebuke every single one of you. I rebuke you now.
I don't even want to see him come across my For You
I rebuke you now.
Honestly.
I rebuke you now.
Not even that, because if you can muster up the courage in our society to say that on a public platform, and you know the other content creator.
Perfect. That's why you need to be scared. That's why our society is the exact reason why you need to be scared, because our children are way more exposed than they were 15 years ago. Everything is at the tip of their fingers, okay? Okay? The predators are no longer hiding. They're saying, Simia. The predator, they must say Simia now, okay? And then they have shooters, and they have gifters, and they have teams saying, let him alone, a joke him a make.
But give you a sweeter joke, Sash.
Let us see.
Give you a sweeter joke. This morning, one of his moderators was unalive.
Oh, me fear be field moderator.
Yeah, man, and is a lady with children. I think she have 3 children, I think she said.
God bless her,
and she said, yeah, man, she went on the live and she said, maybe because me know how he stay, he see a lot of things, get gifts and he want to go viral.
So that would encourage me to gift you? You telling me that you want to put a little boy's sausage and his 2 grapes in your mouth is going to encourage me as a woman, you call women where we birth life. You're going to, as a woman, that's going to encourage me to give you my money. You lick your chip. Your parents,
she said,
in a tiki community, well on a picnic clothes. Pitney in a peer. She ain't nobody, man. She just want me moderator. She ain't listen. She ain't nobody.
I agree with him, but you me know how he stay.
She ain't nobody. She ain't nobody. She just want me moderator for try and build PR page. She just want me moderator.
Said to her that
she ain't nobody.
If one of your children came to you and said to you,
somebody said that to him.
Touched him, or would you believe? She said, of course me da believe. So the person says, so why is it so hard for you to believe that him would have do it? If your child come to you and tell us him do it, you da believe.
Yeah, man, she ain't nobody, man. She ain't nobody. She just a try build fair page and get 2 followers, man. Cause there's no way my man, right man, me could have sit down and say me a moderator for Tiki. You mad? I'm if say me a moderator for Tiki, I say Tiki come out say one put little pitney sausage and grape in her mouth. See people them little son run across the screen and I talk about that little boy the cutie. I'm cute, so I would just put him little sausage and him 2 grape in my mouth and gaggle it. Oh, me to be your moderator, I'm not crosses, man.
Oh, God, that is disgraceful.
Body, man. Body. Yeah, what kind of woman you come and tell people, boy, you have 3 pitney. I must 3 drunker bird. Cause there's no way you could have be a mother. And talk about so him stay if you get gifts. So you gonna roll out the zoo. You one of them who gonna roll out the zoo and give him lion, tigers and bears. If you buy your son ice cream and fill up your son, okay. Send your pitney down there. You come and talk about so him stay. Yeah, we know. Hey, let me tell you about Jamaican people. We don't know trouble until it reach the doorstep, you know. We don't know problem until it knock through the door. What we hear said what we hear said 10 house in our neighborhood get broke and it not have nothing to do with we. Make through one get broke now. We want the whole community run out for we. We don't know a problem until it knock with door and say, see me here. Only when the door trouble come and lick through the door and say, see me here. All along we not wash blood out of clothes. All along we not hide gun. All along we not wash blood out of clothes. And we not hide gun and down the bed. It never be a problem. But when them bust for your one head, all of a sudden we run out. All of a sudden them innocent. And a victim wouldn't know a problem until it knock with door and say, see me here.
So true.
Me reach. At them time there.
So
and then
true.
we want the whole community rally round we and give us support. But where were we when we saw things that were taking place in our sights and we ignored it? I'm going to leave on there. So I want to see if we not go cancel ticket. Anybody, any old me a pass and me see a screen recording and nobody with no lion, tigers and bears. I just want to write down on the name. I go and turn pretty down. I go and put on the name in our book and black on no. Me no want to come watch me. Me no need no support. Gift a badge could have reached 101. Me no want to send that even a rose over here. Cause me no want none of the pedophile and pervert money. Me not shorten them. Put on the name in my book and I go and black on no. You could have gifts until you can't give no more. anybody will support pedophilia.
Thank you so much.
Black or no.
Sasha.
All right,
for
darling.
opening your platform so I could vent. Thank you so much. I see the comments of people, who sympathize with me, people who wanted to pray for me. Thank you so much, guys. I am in a better space now, trust me. I break down from time to time, but I am in a better space now, and I want to commend you, Sasha, and I want to encourage you to continue. Trust me, you have power. I think you know that you do, but may I tell you again, girl, you have a conviction on you, and you have power. You understand? You never know when you open your life. You never know who you're talking to. Trust me, and I just want to encourage you to continue. I know say it hard to stay on the straight and narrow, because when you come over here, you're in the devil's playground.
Yeah.
And it is easy to just come and make a fool of yourself for a few coins or rose here and there. It is easy to come and conform to what everybody else is doing. But trust me, girl, don't lose you. Don't use the Sasha element. Don't lose it. Because trust me, hey, we depend on it. We depend on certain safe space when we come on TikTok, because everybody's doing the same thing. So it is a breath of fresh air when we come across a content creator who is different, and you can't say, I don't know if you know clout. You understand? So thank you, my dear.
Thank you so much for coming on.
I will be down in the comments. All right, you can take me down. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, man.
Well, guys, Paul, here you go, Auntie Sasha. Okay, nephew. Here you go, Auntie Sasha, Paul. Hey, I don't want to make me start charity, Okay, confirmation. I knew my sis was gonna be in the comments. Me know say Annie. Me know say when Perfect said that a while ago, me did a look out for Annie. Me did a look out like me didn't know. Say me gonna say something. Me know say Annie, they gonna say something. Me just a wait for her, but just a wait for Annie. Just a wait for Annie. Paul, you want make for prayer? Wait there. Come make a reason family. Mwah. Paul say you want make a prayer.